This nightmare movie gets a bad name for being over the top and hammy. I'll vouch for some of that, but it's got nothing on part 6. But that's another review. Here's a rundown of basically what happens, with my usual asides added in there. Alice and Dan start the movie getting it on. There's more to it, but I'll get back to that. Instantly you think Freddy's back in town, Alice having a nightmare she's not in control of. Threw me off the first time I watched it. Basically we're getting back to the son of 100 maniacs thing. Amanda, of course, being locked in and then being assaulted. This, of course, was learned in Part 3 and through various comics released prior to this movie. One thing I'm glad they didn't overuse was the jump scare. I hate that. Just use suspense. Meet the meat. Here are the victims of this edition of the franchise. How will they go down, and who will come out on top? Basically how a nightmare film works. Or all slashers, really. Except Psycho. Anyway. Alice finds herself in Freddy's dream world for the first time since the last film. Ah, jump scare. Stop that. Here's where I think the film went wrong in people's eyes. It was all serious at the start, Alice in the dream world, and then Amanda Kruger gives birth. Started to lose me right about here. This is off the wall. He was burnt as a child? That makes no sense and goes against the timeline, but let's let it slide. To speed this up, Kruger is back and Amanda needs to be released to kill him. So that's the trick, is it? He's been burnt, buried. It's always something new with this guy. He should be more consistent like Michael or Jason. Alice discovers she is dreaming him up while awake. Dan goes for Alice, but why is he tired? It's like 8 o'clock. But the kill scene was really inventive and worthy of a nightmare film. Still lacks the feel, but I'll get back to the feel of this movie in the sequels in a moment. Alice finds out she is pregnant, and this is the center point for the whole film. Basically, Freddy is dreaming himself up through the baby and claiming new victims. I think I have that about right, so let's take a look at some highlights for a moment. Hey, remember this kid? If not, he was in Jurassic Park. He was annoying in that movie, but alright in this one. Greta, and the way that she went, was rather gross and a little funny at the same time. And I just wanted to show the effects here. Way cooler than CGI. The little boy continues to play a part, but who he is you'll just have to watch and find out. I don't know why I guard that, I tell every other damn thing in the movie. Now, Dan's parents want the baby due to Alice's apparent mental state. It was a short bit, but interesting to put pressure on her. They could have played into that a little bit more, but it would have greatly extended the movie. Yvonne being accosted in the dream world was chilling because she was the one trying to reason out the natural causes of death, saying that Freddy was a myth. Mark, I think, is the most likable character and has a superhero fight with Freddy. It doesn't end well, but damn, more franchises should do battles with superheroes. Imagine Spider-Man versus Jason or something like that. Just a thought. In the end, Yvonne finds Amanda and somehow this unborn 10-year-old kills Freddy with Freddy's energy or something like that. It was a disappointing ending, I would say. The movie as a whole did a few things right. They had likable characters and some interesting scenes. But as compared to the Dream Warriors in the original, it didn't have the us versus the adults feel like those films did. These are more like adults on their own fighting one front, unlike 2 as before. Part 6 is much of the same. Another complaint I have is that you don't see a whole lot of Freddy. I'm struggling to fit him into the review actually, and he's way too hammy. I like a dark Freddy myself, like in the remake, but nobody liked that, and that just blows my mind away. The movie will always be in my collection, and the cover I always found stunning. Overall, it's got its ups and downs, but it's entertaining. This was Pat for HMRG, thanks for watching.